Ready, peak! All right, peak on your throat and peak. All the way together.
All the way together. This kind of shift is how marine biologists did marine biology right up until about the middle of the 20th century. People went out on sail ships around the world like this, pulled things up out of the ocean, and that's how we learned what the ocean is about. So you're doing what marine biologists have done for centuries, joining us as we explore the ocean here.
Great! Awesome! Awesome!
What we're doing at the Natural History Museum right now is a 2-week-long urban ocean expedition. What we're doing is spending 2 weeks with about 20 biologists from across the country down at the AltaSea facility down here in San Pedro, collecting as many marine invertebrate species as we possibly can.
So this expedition is kind of extraordinary. It has attracted about 20 scientists from across the country who are taxon specialists. So these are folks who specialize in a particular marine group of organisms. Knowing that these specimens are coming in, they wanted to come here to see their particular research organisms, and they're the ones who are doing the identification of the animals for us. So when we get a specimen here, we identify it, we catalog it, and then we take a tiny piece of tissue and genetically sequence that tissue. From that sequence, we can register that as the reference sequence for that species. Then, when we analyze a cup of seawater and we find that sequence in the seawater, we can look it up in the database and know that a particular species of snail, a particular octopus species, was in the area where that water was collected. That is an almost magical ability to survey the environment, see what's around us in a way that is far quicker, far cheaper, and will allow for much denser sampling than we can possibly do with the conventional sampling that we do today. And for all the biologists here, no matter where they've been, no matter what they've seen, there's always something coming up every day that they've never seen before.
But all of those feathery things are just tentacles that go around its mouth and filter feed the water. Then they squirt the water out through this part of the vein.
So the public day-to-day is kind of a culmination of taking advantage of having a real science experience. You don't have to go to a faraway place to have an expedition. It's happening right here locally. And we are leveraging off of that with the public so that the public actually gets to see scientists at work, can interact with them and ask questions. So that linkage, again, where hopefully what scientists can do, we interact better with teachers and with educators to make that more real.
Brittle star.
I think kids are just naturally curious. They're natural scientists. They're naturally wondering about everything around them. I think the importance of events like this is not that they're raising awareness, because I think they're already aware. I think what they're doing is they're connecting their worries and concerns, because kids do get worried. Like this younger generation is very worried, but it gives them a way to channel their worry into something constructive.
Sanitation districts up and down the coast are the agencies that are responsible for treating our sewage, dealing with the water, the sewage water, and also monitoring any effects that sewage systems have on the environment. And they've been doing that for decades. They have the best taxonomists in the area, the people who can identify marine organisms.
This is Los Angeles. The area out here has been studied, pretty intensively over the last 100 years, and we still find new organisms right off the coast. So, always collecting data is going to be important, and the more you collect, the more stuff you're going to find.
So we're trying to capture as much biodiversity as possible. And the way we're doing that is going out by sampling every single day. And we are looking at the biota, the biology of organisms from Point Conception to the Mexican border. From 0 feet to 1,000 meters is roughly our goal.
Okay, we're on station. This will be a 10-meter drop. I have a little bit of wind out of the southwest at 2, And the seas are out of the southwest, 1 to 2.
So we use all kinds of techniques to collect the critters from the seafloor, and today we're using grab sampling methods, which allows us to really capture soft sediment, large volumes of soft sediment.
All that data will become available in public databases, and then by doing so, it allows us to work in the realm of environmental DNA, where you can just take a liter of seawater, concentrate all the DNA fragments that are included in there, and then match them to the database of the species that we have captured.
These new molecular genetic techniques that we have available to us really allow us to have an unprecedented look at how biodiversity is changing in our local areas. This is really the first step in a decades-long process that ultimately should refine our ability to study the marine biodiversity around Los Angeles.